Melkor, the first Dark Lord. Before the world was fully formed, before the lands of Middle-earth took shape, there was Melkor, the mightiest of all Ainur. Created by Ilúvatar with immense power and wisdom, Melkor had the potential to be the greatest of the Valar. However, his ambition and pride led him down a path of rebellion, destruction, and darkness. He became the first Dark Lord, later known as Morgoth, the ultimate source of all evil in Middle-earth. Melkor's rebellion against Ilúvatar. Even before the creation of Arda, during the music of the Ainur, Melkor sought to weave his own melodies into Ilúvatar's great theme. Unlike the other Ainur, who worked in harmony, Melkor wanted to dominate the music and impose his own will upon the world. His discordant notes clashed against the melody, causing great turmoil. Yet Ilúvatar, in his wisdom, used even Melkor's rebellion to shape a greater and more profound song. Realizing that Ilúvatar's design was beyond his control, Melkor became filled with jealousy and rage. When the Ainur entered Arda to shape the world, Melkor descended with them, not to create, but to conquer. Melkor versus the Valar. The First War. Once inside Arda, Melkor began destroying what the Valar built. He twisted the lands, set the seas ablaze, and filled the world with cold and darkness. His power was so vast that the Valar struggled to oppose him. Every time they raised mountains, he leveled them. When they carved rivers, he dried them up. This endless conflict became known as the First War of Arda. For ages, the world remained in chaos, a battlefield between creation and destruction. However, when Tulkas, the strongest of the Valar, entered Arda, he drove Melkor away. Defeated for the time being, Melkor retreated into the void, seething with hatred and plotting his return. The rise of Morgoth. Though Melkor had been driven away, he was not gone forever. Over time, he returned in secret, spreading his influence and corrupting the world. His greatest weapons were not just brute strength, but deception and lies. He whispered doubts and fears into the hearts of others, sowing the seeds of discord. He found followers among the lesser spirits, the Maiar, convincing some to join him. Among them was Sauron, who would later become his most loyal lieutenant. Melkor also twisted and corrupted many of the creatures of Arda, creating monstrous beings such as Balrogs, dragons, and orcs. With his new army, Melkor waged war once more against the Valar, earning himself a new title. Morgoth, the black foe of the world, the destruction of the Two Lamps. Before the creation of the two trees of Valinor, the world was lit by two massive lamps, Ilúin and Ormal, placed in the north and south of Arda. These lamps illuminated the lands, bringing warmth and light. However, Morgoth, still jealous of the Valar's work, plotted their destruction. With the help of his monstrous servants, he launched a surprise attack, shattering the two lamps and plunging the world into darkness. The destruction of the lamps caused great upheaval, reshaping the lands and forcing the Valar to retreat to Valinor, where they would later create the two trees. This event marked the beginning of Morgoth's true reign of terror in Middle-earth, the great enemy of elves and men. As the ages passed, Morgoth continued to shape Middle-earth in his own image. He built fortresses, most notably Utumno and Angband, where he gathered his forces. When the elves awoke in Middle-earth, Morgoth was the first to find them. He captured and twisted many of them, giving rise to the first orcs, a mockery of the elves. Later, he waged war against the elves, men, and even the Valar during the First Age. his conflict with Fëanor and the Silmarils, his war against the kingdom of Beleriand, and his ultimate defeat at the hands of the Valar and the host of the West marked his legacy as the greatest villain of Middle-earth's history. The fall of Morgoth. Despite his immense power, Morgoth's arrogance was his downfall. Unlike Sauron, who learned to deceive and manipulate, Morgoth was a tyrant who ruled by brute force and fear. His cruelty turned many against him, and after centuries of war, the Valar finally launched the War of Wrath, in which Morgoth was defeated. Captured and chained, he was cast into the void, beyond the world, where he remains imprisoned. However, legends say that he will one day return for the final battle, a great war that will decide the fate of Arda forever. Morgoth's legacy. Though Morgoth was banished, his influence never truly faded. His corruption remained in the world, and his greatest servant, Sauron, rose to take his place. The shadow of Morgoth's evil continued to shape the events of Middle-earth for ages to come. His story serves as a warning that even the mightiest can fall, and that unchecked ambition leads only to ruin.